Hi, my name is Liz, and I'll be your host. Welcome to According to Liz. This is a podcast about my own life experiences and how I view the world. So, buckle up and enjoy the ride.
Welcome to According to Liz.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of According to Liz. Thank you for being here. I am so glad that you are here to listen. And today we're going to talk about what is it like to grow up
Right.
with Liz. And we have Josie here.
Hi, guys. And so I'm so excited to be here.
She's going to talk all about what it was like to be my hour.
Okay, so where should I start? I feel like my mom, like something that we all know, like the three of us, me and my siblings, is that her strongest standpoint has always been compassion. Like she's a very compassionate woman. So
Well, thank you.
so I think growing up with my mom just surrounds that word, just compassion. She was very compassionate, very giving. I feel like another thing too that's very healthy for little kids is not shutting down their dreams. My mom never did that. You could tell her, I want to be an astronaut tomorrow. She's gonna be like, girl, go get that suit on. Like she's very like,
Let's go buy it.
let's go buy it. Let's you know what I mean? So I think with that I had a great experience. Like I hear that because I'm a psych major, so I hear each kid apparently gets a different version of their mother. Because obviously, it's a different perspective from different brains, whatever.
Yeah,
But
different personality.
yeah, exactly. So they have a different perspective with their mother. But mine was 100% like my mom's my best friend. We hang out and talk all the time. I tell her everything. So
Stop it. You don't have to
yeah,
lie for the people.
I tell you all the time.
I am your best friend.
What's it like having 3 kids?
What will
What was the difference between each one? One
so right.
the transition.
So for me, it was more about my age as well, that and in my circumstances at each moment. So per se, Jacob and Abby, it was more like I need to be strict. I want to make sure that they are good kids, because
Right. Also, when it's your first kid, you're like, oh, it's my first kid. I need to make sure,
right.
and then it's your second kid. It's like, all right, well, round 2, and then by the third, you're like, all right,
No,
it turned out.
well, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. Let me explain. So when I had Jacob and Abby, I had Abby so Jacob could have a best friend, right? Because I grew up alone. So I wanted them to be like best friends. They had each other, right? So I was very big on making sure they knew how to be well behaved and knew how to take care of each other and of themselves, because at that time I felt so alone. I didn't want them to be a burden if I was to ever not be here. Like I want to make sure they were good kids so they won't be separated. So for me, it was like my biggest thing was I want to make sure they're good. I want to make sure they stay
strong
together,
relationship.
right? Like if I was to die, knock on wood, God forbid, then people would want to keep the two of them because they're good kids. It's not like, God dang it, I could only take one. I could only right. So that was the one thing. And then when I had you, I felt more supportive, like more supported. I felt like, if something was to happen to me, then I have family members on your father's side, they would definitely care for you. So the whole, I knew your father would take care of you. So the whole making sure it wasn't as bad. So I was a little more, I wouldn't say loose, but I was a little more, not so tight with you. And by the time we came along, well, it wasn't that much, but by the time we came, I had Jose to back me up if something was to happen. And when I was a little more calm with you, I was also more calm with the other two, because then I had Jose that I knew he would come through for them as well.
What would you say? What is your definition of a mother? And what would you? Oh, sorry. What would you what do you think you've learned and taken from motherhood?
For me, was love.
Okay, the
Like,
amount
I
of love.
never felt so loved
Yeah.
until I had my.
I mean, that's what
I never loved anything or anyone as much.
a lot of, and that's why mothers are constantly like crying when their baby's born, because they look at it and they always say it's like
It's overwhelming love.
dopamine rush, like this amount
Yeah.
of love that's like overwhelming, and it's like,
Overwhelming love.
oh my goodness, like I
Like-
feel so much love
Yeah.
in this thing,
Yeah.
like this little baby, like this little creature. So
For me, it's like I feel like when you fall in love or when you love somebody, you would die for them. When you have kids, you will kill for them.
right,
It's like it's a whole like no, like I'm ready for everything and anything for them. So that's I feel like was the biggest thing. And you don't know or have anything figured out. At least for me, I didn't have anything figured out. I didn't know what tomorrow was gonna bring.
no, yeah, and it's a cliche, but a lot of people say like motherhood is the hardest job, and no one can prepare you,
No,
like
No.
fully, like never,
no.
like no,
You can never
amount of words
be
you
a
wanna,
mother for each kid.
yeah, no,
No, because the different personalities, like per se, okay, even to the point of like punishment, let's say, even to the way you punish the kids, you gotta punish them differently. Because for instance, let's say you and Jacob, if I was to tell you, Jasara, you gonna sleep, no dinner for tonight, you're gonna be like, all right, and that's not a punishment to you.
yeah,
But to Jacob, if I would have told Jacob, you're gonna sleep with no dinner tonight. It was like,
right. Jacob's a booty growing up.
right. So like it will be different. And then like if I was to tell Jacob, you staying in your room,
Oh,
you know,
my
they'll be
goodness.
like, oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah, me, I'm bouncing off the wall. It's fine.
Right.
I can't stay put anywhere to this day. I'm 18 years old. I still can't stay
Right. So
anywhere.
each kid is different.
Yeah.
Even how you and I feel like the one of the biggest thing is mothers learning how to deal each kid, like with each kid, like how to maneuver, because at the end of the day, you just want the best for your kids, even if it means they're gonna hate you at the moment, even if it means that they're not gonna, appreciate it at the moment.
Yeah.
It just like you have to be the bad guy when you need to be. And a lot of the times that I disciplined you guys, like I was like heartbroken. I would go to my room and cry, or like, even when the kids yell at you.
Now, what are your thoughts on like gentle parenting? Because that's becoming more.
I don't believe in that shit.
And this,
That's a no.
I think a gentle parenting to an extent.
No.
I feel like there's certain things that a child needs to to know. Because okay, you're raising a human from scratch to make them a functioning member of society. Once they're 18, you're gonna send them out to the world. Yeah, you're gonna hope that they're have high functioning. So, I think that certain things like stealing, if your child is stealing, if they're hitting, if they're biting, like things like that need correction, I feel like, okay, like, yeah, you can spank them here and there. But I feel like little things like, oh, they make a mess or they maybe drop a bottle or something and it shatters everywhere. Like, that's something that can need more gentle parenting. And, you can teach them to understand why you can't play in the kitchen and why these things are bad and whatever. But, yeah, I think that it could be 50-50. And I think that when you do hit your kid, it doesn't have to be a full beating. It could be like a 1-2, like, smack here and there. Like,
I believe hit them good one time and they don't have to hit them again for the same reason. I also don't believe in gentle parenting.
My mom gentle parented me, and I think I'm, because you were more so disciplined, like you were disciplining Abby and Jacob a lot more. I feel like
right, because that's what I felt like I was able to be a little more easy.
Yeah, you definitely.
But also remember, different kids. You would listen. You was a very easy.
I was a listener.
It was very easy. You was all by yourself.
You wasn't on this.
You wasn't tag teaming me with your brother, right? Right.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like
behind the cameraman. He's
yeah, and that was another thing in the beginning. I had to be the mom and the dad and the provider for Jacob and Abby.
Right.
So it was a lot more on my plate. But like I said, I felt that I needed to make sure they were gonna be good kids. Like I couldn't fuck up. I couldn't give myself the lead weight, or like I couldn't take the chance of, not making sure that they were gonna be good kids, well behaved kids, right? But with gentle parenting, I feel like hell no. No, seriously. This world is not gentle. I feel like a lot of kids are being brought up so weak that when life hits them, they don't know what to do with it. And I feel like there's no strength. There's no one behind you telling you, oh, good job. Oh, high five. Oh, you are awesome every damn day. And it's okay when they younger, but then they come out into the world and the world will eat them alive. And I feel like a lot of the mental health that are happening has a lot to do with that. Because I see it, it's like you didn't tough them up. If they fall, you didn't tell them, get up, come on, let's go. It's okay,
I think this is so funny because my dynamic with my parents is that my dad was a lot more half tough skin. Like F them. Doesn't matter. Like, oh, like they did that to you. How about you go and level up? Like, that's how you gotta get back. But my mom was more of the, like, babying, in the sense where she'll be like, oh, you fell. Come here. Come to mom. Like, she'll be very, like super cuddly and super just like, it's okay.
Well,
so with me, I didn't have the same mom Abby and Jacob had. Because they had to get up, stop crying, or give you a reason to cry. I know, but wait, crying. That's what I had. So
I know you got a lot of
nurturing, yeah.
So they did too. They got a lot of nurturing. It was more like, I have your father to be tough on you.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't.
So didn't need both. Yeah, exactly. As we said, it had to be mom and a dad.
With Jacob and Abby as well, it was like when he came into the picture, it was like, okay, now I'm somebody to back me up. So I didn't have to keep being that way. But nevertheless, if you didn't do your homework, you got a beating.
That's true.
You got a beating for lying too. I hate liars.
Yeah, I hate a liar now.
Yeah.
I do hate a liar. There's nothing more infuriating.
It's like, listen, I'm not telling anybody out there to go beat on your kids. This is what worked for me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying how I see it and, like how I did it. But I'm telling you, a lot of these damn kids need a beating. They really do.
No, I mean, yeah, some kids, I'm not going to lie, like everybody's been in public before. They've seen like a bad kid and you're like, bro, like bad. You don't have to be a bad kid, but like, a kid that's out of control. Not well behaved. Seen out well behaved, exactly like you're in public.
Mothers cannot even go anywhere
out of control yourself.
Man, they're like,
but once again, their mothers aren't teaching them emotional control. Like you can't expect a 3-year-old, they've only been alive on this earth for 3 years, to understand how to navigate their emotions and how to, understand that, okay, this is something I want really bad. If mom is saying, no, I can't have it, that's that. You have to listen. They're feeling, I want this really bad. Like they're just gonna outlash and tantrums, but it's because their mother's not explaining to them, like, like how to control these emotions, how, like, you need to maybe work harder, do something good to get a toy. You don't just get it to be, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's just like my, sorry, what?
Nah, there's just one thing. Like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, no.
But I was a tantrum kid, so.
You also got popped in the butt for it.
So
if you wasn't out here having a heart attack.
Dude, I actually saw a video recently on TikTok, and it was like this mom recording her nights with her newborn, and oh my goodness, she put the baby down to bed around baby, they sleep all day, so it's really, I think she said she started at like 10 o'clock at night. She was like, all right, like the baby, we're putting it down. Let's see how long she lasts. This poor mother is waking up every hour. She literally was checking in the video, and it was like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., waking up every hour. And in the comments, it was like, yeah, this is like the worst stage. Like, you kind of forget about it, but it was brutal. Like, and it's like that for at least 3 months straight. And I feel like that'll drive you. Like, that would drive me insane.
Yeah.
Women are so strong and so, like, it's how, like, the sleep deprivation, like, it makes you, can go into psychosis. Like, it's crazy. Like, and then a lot of women experience postpartum, and, this also can play an effect to it because your baby is crying every hour and waking you up for 3 months straight. you don't get a solid night of sleep, or
No.
then it goes up to 6 months.
I was about to say,
But
it's longer than
if
that.
you had a good baby, you'll be good after 3. But usually,
Yeah.
it isn't until 6 months that they sleep at night. And I
Wake
was
up
like,
to eat.
how do you do that? How do you? And I feel like they don't give long enough time for maternity leave, because it's like, but if you have work and then you have, and I just feel like that to me is like, what was that like?
Exactly.
What was your experience with that? But there's people with like 6 kids, so it's like, how bad?
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
But the
lie,
love is
I did.
overpowering. I guess
Nowadays, my grandmother, she had 15.
it's like, how do you do that
I have no idea.
every single time?
The last one, she gave birth
On the
to
word.
horse.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That's the story.
She was.
I kind of want to hear it. What's the
she was
story?
on a-
Yeah.
So she was on a horse, on her way to give birth, right? Because there was like a storm, so the midwife couldn't come to her.
Mhm.
So she's like in labor, and now she has to go to the midwife. So she's on a horse, going to the midwife.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
like only no back in the days, right?
Yeah.
So she's on the horse to go to the midwife, and the baby started coming out while she's on the horse.
What did she do with it?
She had to like grab it and get off the horse.
Was there anyone else with her, like helping guide the horse?
No, she was all by herself.
Who was
Yeah, my grandfather.
on a horse?
Yeah, my grandfather was in another property they had. They had like a lot of land. Yeah, this lady, until she basically gave birth, the baby started coming out while she was on the
What a
horse.
story.
Got down, and finally, yeah,
That is crazy.
isn't it?
Your podcast every week in Spotify, YouTube,